What's up, world? It's your boy, the Beerded Brother, and guess what? It's season 3 of the Beerded Tastings. So easy. So each season it gets better and better. The ingredients, the adjuncts, when we're brewing these seasons are getting better and better. If you don't believe me, just look across the table. I got a hometown hero here, and my guy Terrance. But I'm not going to talk about his heroism. He's right here, ready to talk to you guys. How you today, man?
I'm great, man. I can't complain, man. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you having me, man, for sure.
Appreciate it. I'm glad you're here, man. And I know you nearby. Your shop's nearby, like right next door, actually. It's just like basically on the other side of this wall. He owns a shop called PSV. Can you talk a little bit more about like what PSV is? And
yeah, for sure. So I'm the owner and the founder of the PSV store. We give small businesses and visual artists a chance to rent wall space monthly. They keep 100% profit off of any products they sell, and they get to host a 4-hour event inside of the store if they choose to. So we usually average around 8 to 10 events per month, and it's just to give back to the culture. You know what I mean? Give outsiders a slice of what the perspective of the arts are from a native standpoint. So I did it so I can open the doors for other artists inside of the city to be able to exist inside of the inner city Nashville community, especially with, you know, the market and stuff rising like it is.
Gotcha. Yeah. And starting from a place of kind of like a neo soul spot, concert hall you had, to supporting small businesses. Was this always something you wanted to do?
Oh yeah,
you kind of fell into it.
It's something that I always kind of complained about. I always wondered why Nashville didn't have like a hub where different artists could come and they could find each other before their careers catapulted to the next level. And I got tired of complaining about it. COVID happened.
Right.
I seen an opportunity, and I was like, man, hey, if they don't let me in this door, I'm gonna build this door by myself. And you look up a year and a half later, and here we are. So it kind of just turned into highlighting different businesses, but I always wanted kind of to cater to the arts, especially recording artists inside of the city, being that that's what I originated the brand from making music and things of that nature. But PSV stands for Plus Sign Vibes, and when we opened the store, we came up with the concept of the PSV store where peers support victories. It's still PSV, so it all added up. Yeah.
I love that, and you basically transitioning to our first beer. Like, it's pretty much bringing delightful strangers in and giving them a space to really become friends and expand their network. Which brings us to our next beer, which is called Delightful Stranger. It's a Czech Pilsner, so it's gonna be light, easy to drink, a little hoppy, but like a little like bready a little bit, but nothing like you eating like nature's own loaf of bread or nothing like that.
Okay, cool.
Stuff like that. So
let's check it out.
And you can tell it's like nice golden color.
Yeah.
This is basically if Bud Light and all of them made an effort to make good beer. This is what you get in this glass right here.
Yeah, I can tell.
And so, and being able to like, speaking of like people putting in effort, you come into the space of black art and putting that on a pedestal. Like, how important was it for you to create a space like this? Like,
and it was super important because I got a lot of friends as artists, and a lot of times we wasn't able to exist in certain venues, or like the price of venues is so high that we couldn't afford to like curate our own events like we could in like the early 2010s, especially with everything changing in the city. So I thought it was very important that I like put my neck on the chopping block for like my friends more than anything, you know, because I feel like we had a following and we kind of went against the grain of just like the average way of going about, you know, getting followers and people to kind of notice what we're doing. So I was like, hey, if we have a venue, that means we can do whatever we want, whatever time we want, whatever day we want. So it was very important to like just open that door for my friends, man, because I knew that they were super talented. They just needed the platform and a place to exist. You know what I mean? So that's why it was so important for me to do.
Right, and like, how has your influence kind of just changed the Black creative scene? I feel like when you came in like a year and a half ago,
bro, I
talking about like early 2000s, like how do you feel like your influence is bringing that back, or you feel like you're doing something completely different?
And I feel like I always unintentionally had influence, just like on my friends around me, because they would always ask me for my opinion or my suggestion in certain areas. But like now that we have the location, it makes me like be more intentional about my influence. You know, it's like I can't just give an opinion just because that's how Terrance feel, because I represent a brand and there's people that's inside of my space that they represent me like I represent them. So it was like making sure that we represented each other like completely, you know,
right.
not just in certain aspects, but like if I'm not around, I got a friend who's in the store and he's able to give the same message as if I was still there.
Right.
So like that was very, very important to me, man, for sure.
And I kind of want to also move on to the next beer so we can just sample throughout the. I want to double click on to your. The store and the space itself, and kind of just going into that, but I wanted to go into this double IPA we got called Double Click.
Double Click. Okay.
So basically, double just means a stronger version of a regular IPA. So it's going to be a little more hoppier, a little more malty. It's going to have a bigger ABV.
Let's try it, man. Let's go.
I've had this one together, so we're chasing this together.
I like this one.
Oh yeah, that's good. Very tropical, easy to drink. That's what makes it dangerous about beer that you're at today. So maybe you can make beers that are heavy, but like you don't feel the heaviness until it's too late.
It's too late, yeah, no, for sure.
And then you call your girl to come get you. So Ashley, come get me.
we gonna make sure we carry him out. He gonna make it down the stairs. It'll be good today. No worries.
But yeah, I want to just kind of talk about like PSV.
Yes.
You have a sibling that's in the creative space.
Yes.
And reading your story, you coming from single parent household, man, like kind of just coming from limited resources to creating something that for other people that might not have the resources, but they can come here and start to build that. Kind of how like your upbringing influenced your creativity and creating a space like PSV.
Man, my upbringing was interesting. It was interesting. Like you said, bro, me and my brother Clarence, he's the owner of the Secret Gallery and the CE Gallery. It's three of us.
He'll be on the episode soon, don't worry.
Yeah, he will be soon. So it's actually three of us. I'm the middle child. Yeah, we have a younger brother. He's not really into the arts. But we came up just humble beginnings, bro. Like my mother, she was always like working 2 jobs. So like my mom would like tell my oldest brother Clarence like, hey, you gotta take care of them and things like that. But then me and Clarence, we like maybe a year and 3 months apart or something.
Oh wow.
So it's like you still my brother, even though you kind of substitute as my authority figure at times. But he would always have these super crazy ideas like, bro, let's like build this fort that like leaves the room and goes into the living room and things like that, right?
Right.
And just being a little brother, I was like, all right, come on, let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? So I think that energy kind of just transformed into like us and our creativity as adults. Still having limited resources, maybe not having like cousins and stuff that live close to us, so we have to find ways that we could play with each other and like maybe our neighbors and stuff like that. And I think how that translates into now is we just use our friends, you know what I'm saying? Like having like super cool friends who maybe just come from less like we did, but still had a creative eye and still wanted to, you know, like just be innovative in whatever it is that they doing. So I kind of think like, I know for me, I definitely took that method into like building a store. It was like, I only thought 1 in 10. I'm like, okay, I got this space, space, and okay, I want all of these artists to be in here. But then I had to, once I started the store, I had to go back and fill in the 2 through 9. So then that's when I started calling my friend who had a food truck, or my friend who used to work for Disney, or my other friend who been painting his garage for the past 7 years, but never had any a place to show his paintings and stuff like that. Or friends, I had like lady friends who had like different like body butters and soaps and stuff like that. So it was just kind of like, hey, y'all creating from nothing, and I'm also creating from nothing either. But if we put it together, I think we can like push the envelope. Yeah, we'll have something by doing it together. So that's what made me go PSV, peer support victories. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, boom, you may sell a painting, it's like, bro, we just won, you know what I mean? Because even though you sold it, like, they came in and they might came in and picked up a shirt from you, you know what I mean? But then they might have ran across me and I might have told them like, hey, bro got shirts. And then they came and say, hey, I want this shirt and I want this piece of art, you know what I mean? So I wanted to make it an inclusive experience for people to know, like, you don't have to come in and just get a piece of art, or you don't have to come in and just buy like one product. You can come in and just bask in the energy of, you know, PSV. It's plus sign vibe. So yeah, that's kind of how we started, man.
That's awesome. I love how you bring it back to plus sign vibe. I like that. I
Every
appreciate
time,
that.
man. I can't help it, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just kind of talking about like you and Clarence, were y'all always in the creative space? Did one kind of influence the other?
Oh, he definitely influenced me for sure. I was the middle child, so like I was like mad rebellious. Yeah, I was like the rebel out of us three. On paper, they was like the college kids and stuff like that. They were, and they both like graduated college, like I didn't. But what the influence, the initial influences, when I was around 20, my brother was about to graduate college, and he had to do this internship, and he ended up having this super crazy pop-up shop in Memphis. And I hadn't seen my brother for like 3 or 4 years. So when I had seen how eclectic the audience was and the different artists' work, it kind of just like inspired me to be like, hey, I don't have to go directly into the workforce. I could create something that generates revenue. And I had friends who were kind of on the same type of time that I was on. So it's like, they hit me like, hey bro, let's just ask your brother. And I'm like, bro, we still got to build something on our own. You know what I mean? Exactly. But he was definitely influenced because he like always been into the arts. He got a chance to like travel a lot when we were younger and stuff, with like different like school programs and band programs and stuff. And I think that like opened up his creative eye, and then in return just seeing different doors that it got him into, it was like, oh, I can definitely exist in these rooms as well. So yeah, definitely my brother was definitely influenced for sure. But he was first. I give him that.
You might have that one.
I give him that.
A few things you let him have first.
Yeah, I give him that.
I feel you. And I do love that, like, it's a brotherly thing. You do need those type of spaces of the CE Gallery and Secret Gallery and PSV store. Did you always feel like you had like a strong voice in the black community, or is like PSV is like, oh, this is me, this is how my voice cares? Because for me, with the Bearded Brother, that's how I found my voice to be impactful in the black community. That was always something I was searching for.
Yeah.
Being a kid, I lived in Decatur, Georgia, Zone 6. I went to private school. So I essentially would go from like North Nashville out to Franklin.
Totally different. That's like two totally different worlds, right?
You live this identity. It was like too black for the white kids, so you too white for the neighborhood kid, or black neighborhood kids. So you were dealing with this identity crisis, and I just could not find my voice. And I was looking for it, and that's how I got into beer. I knew beer is something like I can take hold on, and I can have a prominent space.
It's a universal language.
Yes, it's a universal language. You're sitting here having a conversation with your friends. Sometimes your best conversation is a drinking.
Yes,
whether it's a beer, Jack and Coke, wine, or just something neat. Like, your best conversation. If you drink, like, you lying if you saying you ain't had your best conversation.
Oh, because it opens you up, right?
Yeah, like two o'clock in the morning, you talking with your girl, you talking with your homie, you're like, man, I want to. The real dream and inspiration came through, and I was like, I always thought of that for the Bearded Brothers, like a space for me to speak freely and openly, as if I had a few beers, but I didn't, or I might have, but you know, neither here or there. You know, like that's not the point. But
yeah, no, I get it.
But like,
So,
is
yeah,
that
for
the
me,
same thing for you for PSV?
I think, man, I think I always had something to say. I was trying to find the right ears to say it to. I never wanted to speak on to deaf ears, so I think that's why I kind of like, I definitely hoarded a lot of my opinions and a lot of my ideas and a lot of my creations as well. Because I always felt, I didn't know how we was gonna get to this point, but I always felt that I would some kind of way like build some kind of platform that when I did speak, it would be meaningful. It would touch people in a way that I couldn't even imagine. But I knew not to speak too soon because I didn't want to like oversaturate these moments. You know what I mean? Where you know, the story had to continue to go and continue to grow. So like now it's way more important for me to speak, and I think I got more of a my voice projects now. I think I've always had a voice. I think now it projects. It's way bigger now, and I got to be way more responsible about it. So yeah, man, I think it just come from me finding my voice, and like I battled with my voice working in corporate America because it was like, oh, I'm in this meeting, but I'm really thinking of some creative or these next lyrics that I'm writing, and I really want to be like, no, y'all doing this the wrong way at work, but I really don't care because I'm not trying to change y'all company anyway. You know, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Exactly. No, and they knew I was there. So I think those experiences helped me know when to speak. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I definitely battle with that, with my voice and like my identity and throughout my 20s with trying to balance like creativity, but then still trying to like work in corporate America and, you know, just like meet the status quo of everything. And then COVID happened, and then that was like, yes, I get to like let my hair down.
That was the kind of moment where you're like, oh, okay, my voice is ready.
Yes.
You know, now, because that was my follow-up question. Like, when was that moment where you're like, oh shit, this is
man,
this
it was
me.
COVID.
This is how
quarantine. Okay. I think a lot of us we got a chance to self-reflect, and you know, just do some self-evaluating. And I realized that, man, the things that I wanted to achieve, they would only come within. You know what I mean? It would have to be things that I created, or things that I thought of, or different ideas that I projected and put into the universe. And so that time was like maybe October of 2020, in the middle of quarantine.
Oh yeah, like the height.
Yeah, like the real height of it, right? That's when I realized like, oh, okay, I got something to say. I know what I want to say. I have a message to relay. I know how I want to relay it. And now let's just build this platform. That way, not only I'm speaking, but we can speak as a culture of Nashville. So I did it for us, man. It's not for me. It's for the team, for sure.
I know. I love that, man. And like that's just too sweet to be sour. Unlike this beer right here, this third beer called Frankenberry is sour. Okay. So it's gonna be a little tart.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a little fruited. So again, like we tasting this beer together. I haven't had this beer before.
Okay.
So we're doing
first for both of us. Then.
Live, baby.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Beer tasting. I like that.
I didn't know what to expect when you said sour, but hey, man, I'm mad. I supposed to been here one of them drinks. I've been around this corner from them for too long.
Right. And they're good about like making different beers and stuff, so you're not always getting the same thing over and over. They just make it. They have one or two like things they always make like their home style. They have their pep talk with the Pilsner, but they always switch out their IPAs. They always switch out their the sours and stuff like that. They even got a stout and stuff like that. We'll have that a little bit later.
Cool, let's do it.
But yeah,
that's fine, though.
Yeah, that's good. There's like raspberry in there, a little fruit.
That's what I was gonna say. It got a little fruit,
which is perfect now that like the weather's starting to get warm. I like that. I like my sours and my Pilsner when it's nice and hot. Fresh, sweet,
good citrus. It feels like spring. It looks like spring.
It feels like if you can't get to a beach, this is about the closest you're gonna get.
Put an umbrella in my beer.
Right. And I'm okay with that. Pinky up and everything.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good beer, man. It's a really good beer.
Oh yeah, that's really good. And I'm I just wanted to go back to like us creating a space for us, by us, especially like for us. You mentioned you had an article with Ringleader. You mentioned that like in order to see creative movement progress in Nashville, it's going to take a collaborative effort. Do you feel like that progress is happening, or do we still have work to do in terms of creating the black spaces in Nashville?
Man, I think we always got more room to grow. Like, I mean, I don't think there's a cap or like a ceiling that we can hit. I mean, because we in Nashville, so it's always more to acquire.
Right.
But what I will say is, man, I'm thoroughly impressed with like all of the collaboration that I see. Whether it be like different people, like I meet different businesses that have come in my store and they may exist in my store for monthly, and then they go off and then they go to another black-owned venue and they might curate a whole event. I think that that's amazing, like, cause that's what it's about. It's like, hey, let's meet at the bottom and let's go all build our own different skyscrapers. That way we can all be a part of this skyline, and that's my goal. And that's what I always seen happening. Like, how can we all, like, individually, like, help each other, build each other up, opposed to it being so territorial and so cliquish and like, hey, I'm building this over here and I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. And it's like, bro, like, you didn't even make the hammer to even try to hide the hammer or the brand of the hammer. Like, bro, just imagine if you told 10 more other people where they could get that hammer from, how faster we could build up this skyline, you know what I mean? So when people do come visit Nashville and they do come see Nashville, it's not one or two slices of the culture that they get the whole fucking pie, you know what I mean? And that's
the top.
Yeah, exactly, the crust and all. So like, that was always like my goal. Like, I wanted us to do it. I never seen myself, because I'm a middle child, so nothing's ever be a collaborative effort for us to get farther. Like I said, I know in previous interviews, and I kind of just live by it. If you want to go fast, you go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. You know what I mean? It's like we can get so much further if we push the culture as one, opposed to as 100 and one of us trying to push the culture, right? Because when people come in, they only may see one side of it, but it's like, man, if you come to the PSV store, I can be like, yeah, you can go holler at Kramer. I can be like, yeah, Mass TV, or yeah, you can meet this visual artist. Oh, do you know this recording artist? Or do you know this small business? Or, you know what I mean? Opposed to me just being like, no, this is PSV and I don't know, I don't care about. No, I don't. I never operated in that manner, and my brand doesn't represent that. Hence, that's why it's peer support victories, because it's literally everybody supporting each other, like mid conversation, like you said, over a drink, it may be wine or something at the PSV store, and just from the conversation, it'll turn into a whole event. We'll curate a whole event where all of us can benefit, all of us can share each other's platforms, and we can all like give each other a chance to grow. So I always felt like it should always be a collaborative effort. I mean, if we were supposed to be here by ourselves, we would all literally be on our own planet in our own little world. But it don't work like that. So that's kind of the thesis on why I like made sure it's like a collaborative effort. I ain't never did nothing on my own. You know what I mean? It's in the pocket. You can't. Like to a certain point, you can't, bro. Like, especially when you want to go scale higher. You know what I mean? Or you want to scale wider. Like, you have to like do it with people. Like, I don't see no other way. And then who wants to hold like all of that weight on their own, you know? And it's like, man, we can, like I said, if I'm here holding all this weight on my own, I'm not gonna go that far. I might go fast, but I'm not gonna go far with all this weight. Now, if we divide this evenly, we can get further together. So that's kind of my thought process.
No, I love that. And kind of just going back to like PSV, is like, how do vendors apply, and what's the rates, what's the benefits of being in the PSV store?
Oh man, it's so bendy. It's crazy because they change as time change. But initially you can go to www.psvstore.com, fill out the application, let us know what kind of business that you have, and what kind of idea that you want to curate in regards to your 4-hour event. We have two different options. One of them is a $350 option, and that gives you the opportunity to rent 2/3 of the store once you have your 4-hour event, or for $550 you can rent all 3 sides of the store to have your 4-hour event.
Just with having like wall space.
Yeah, with wall space.
Okay.
So you get wall space with that. You get 100% profit off of any products. So you only pay a flat fee. You get access to the other 8 to 10 events inside of the store that month, because all of the other businesses, they host events as well. So naturally, if you're in the store while they're hosting the event, then you're in the store. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not like you have to pick up, pack up, come back. It's like, no, we're a cashless boutique, so people can purchase from you during someone else's event. I tell people, like, come to other people's events to network, to tell them about your event or to tell them about your products. So it's just like gaining a relationship with the client in real time. And then there's so many different resources. There's so many videographers, photographers, podcasters. It's so many different artists in so many different forms that come through the store. All you have to do is just be there, and I guarantee that you'll meet somebody that definitely can help you in some way in what you're trying to create. So it's a lot of different perks. We do a lot of different events outside of the store as well, and people who are in the store within that month of that event that's outside of the store, they automatically get invited to those other places. So it's a lot of different incentives, man. I'm just happy to still be here a year and a half, and people are still interested in, you know, the vision and the concept of the store. Yeah. So it's a blessing, bro.
You got the vision, so you're gonna be around for a long time, and that's what I love about that. And move on to the last beer, and I mean, so fortunately we are wrapping up, but like, I just want to kind of just switch the mood up a little bit. Move to the Mood Ring, which is a fruited IPA. This one, I believe, it has raspberry and lactose.
Okay.
Which lactose is just like a milk sugar, so it makes beer a little bit sweet, a little sweeter, and things like that. So if you have it sour, it's gonna be like with like raspberries or something super like tart and almost be hard to drink. That lactose kind of like calms it down.
Okay.
And sweetens it up a little bit.
All right, let's try it, man. Let's go.
Almost looks like grapefruit juice.
It does.
This is one of my favorite beers from them.
What?
They changed it up. Sometimes they do blood orange.
Oh, okay.
And then this one's with raspberry. The blood orange one is like
crazy. I can imagine.
Bananas. This one's good too, but like that's like my favorite beer of all this stuff.
I'm thoroughly impressed though. I think I've just been like a one-trick pony when I look at the menu here. But now, like, no, I need all of these inside of the boutique just on random. So I'm gonna have to come and give me some cases. Shout out to Beerded Iris. That right next to 100 Taylor, which the PSV store is inside. We own 2 doors inside of the building. So we run across a lot of different, you know, Beerded Irish beers and stuff. They come and they sponsor different events that happen inside of the building. But these last 2, I'm a fan. I'm a fan for sure. I'm a fan.
Speaking to existence, like I'm all at my guy Terrance Bearded Iris at PSV store, man. Bring in the black community in a genuine way. So I always appreciate that. And my last question is about black excellence. How do you find black excellence, and does Nashville show that?
I think, does Nashville show black excellence?
In your definition. What is your definition?
I think Black Nashville is showing black excellence in Nashville. I don't think the outside genres understand it, but I think it's a culture within itself, and I know once like the door opens on the major platform, it's gonna be a floodgate, and I think that's what this is. Like once some random person looks at your podcast, they get to go through it, like they gonna dig in. It's a wormhole. They won't stop. You know what I mean? So I think that we get to champion each other in that manner, and what we sitting down here and what we doing today is what gives us the opportunity to say yes, it does exist, because we living in it and we walking in it every day. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate you for having me. Like, this is a form of that. Like, this is a perfect form of that. So like, it's imperative that you continue. It's imperative that I continue, and everyone else, you know, especially in the Black community, because we are the representation. We, like I said, we are those skyscrapers of the skyline of the Black Nashville when the right people peek inside and they want to see what's really going on.
Right.
Yeah.
They do the right stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you pop up on the top results page.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I love that, and just being able to like have different avenues where it's not the same old traditional thing.
Yeah.
Which we need, but also we need the creatives to shine too.
Yes.
Because where you getting your paintings from in your man cave?
Yeah.
Where you getting those photos from? Where you getting these like pieces of clothing from? You gotta get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like being able to like dig deeper beyond the tag, beyond the brew, and seeing like what's behind that, and realizing like, oh shit, like
It's really here.
people are like, we are everywhere. Like my fiance always tells me like, niggas are everywhere. Like,
Everywhere.
So like it still blows my mind like sometimes, but it's just like that helps me remind like, oh, we everywhere.
Yeah. And
We the world, like you know what I
it's
mean?
a
Like
common
wherever
interest.
we are, we're always making some sort of splash. And my last section of this conversation is just, I call it cheers, and I always give cheers to the person's face, whether it's in person or virtually, just giving them shout out for what they're doing, who they are, and
likewise.
That's what I want to do. I want to raise a glass to you.
It does
Pick whoever you
anyone.
want.
I think this is my favorite,
I
man.
want to raise a glass to you because
Cheers,
you're
bro.
creating such an amazing space that are giving everybody a fair chance.
Yeah,
They don't have to pay the same dues as the person before.
Yeah.
You're giving that
Same.
avenue willingly. You're not like have people talk to you. You don't have to check the pride of your ego. You're like, no, okay,
Let's do it.
It's like, oh, you're doing body butter. Oh, you make beer. You
Yeah.
do photos. Oh, you make edibles. Like, come on,
yes,
like,
exactly.
get this building, get this space, and you can do you, and you don't have to switch up with nobody, and everybody can appreciate you as you are, and I appreciate that to you.
Thank you, bro.
I thank you for that. So like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank
Just in case no one ever tells you again, always remember the Bearded brother believes in you, and you can always believe that you have Bearded Brothers cosign.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for that. But like, how can they keep up with you, PSV store, the events, and vendors? If they want to be a vendor, how can they do that with you?
Oh man, follow us, man. If you type in PSV in Google, if you type it in on Facebook, if you type it in on Instagram, the PSV store will pop up. This logo that is on my hat will pop up. If you see that icon, just make sure you follow it. If you want to follow me personally on Instagram, you can follow me. Again, put in PSV, but then put in T-Simp, S-I-M-P-S. No, just S-I-M-P. PSV T-Simp, and on Facebook, you can put in PSV, and you can find me on there as well. Follow the store on all platforms at THEPSVSTORE. We at 100 Taylor Street, Tuesday through Saturday. If you would like to be a vendor, go to our website, fill out the application, let us know your vision, and we'll definitely set up a calendar date for you, and we can get it in, man. It's as simple as that, man. It's a place where all creators get the opportunity, whether you're new, whether you're old, whether you're shy, whether you've been hoarding work, whether you've been in the game for a while. It's a creative event boutique, man, and it's intimate space where you can get a chance to have a direct conversation with your supporters. So man, come out and check us out at the PSV store, where peers support victories and give +sign vibes.
You guys, you know where you can find me. I'm the Bearded Brother. Find me at www.thebeardedbrother.com. Follow your boy at the Bearded Brother on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. Join me on this beer journey, and you know what the deal is. Grab your friends, grab good ass beer, drink up.
Need it.